Welcome to Breach Narrative, where we uncover the cyber incidents that quietly reshape trust in the systems we depend on every day. From government databases to corporate networks, and now international travel infrastructure. Today's story begins with something millions of people rely on to explore Europe freely, and ends with a question about how safe our personal identity really is once it enters a digital system. In early 2026, reports emerged of a suspected data breach involving Interrail, the popular rail pass system used by travelers across Europe and beyond. Interrail isn't just a ticketing service. It is a centralized platform that stores personal details of travelers moving across borders, including names, contact information, travel records, and in some cases, passport-related data required for verification. The first warning signs were subtle. Some travelers reported receiving suspicious emails referencing recent trips. Others noticed unauthorized access attempts on accounts connected to their bookings. At first, these incidents appeared isolated, easily dismissed as phishing. But cybersecurity researchers soon identified patterns suggesting something far more serious. Internal systems linked to Interrail, booking and verification infrastructure were believed to have been accessed without authorization. While full technical details were not immediately disclosed, investigators warned that passport numbers, email addresses, phone numbers, and travel history may have been exposed. Because Interrail users come from dozens of countries, the potential scope of the breach was international by default. This wasn't just another consumer data leak. Passport information is among the most sensitive personal data a person can have. Unlike passwords, it cannot simply be changed. Once exposed, it can be reused for years, fueling identity theft, financial fraud, forged documents, and even illegal border activity. What made this breach especially concerning was the cross-border impact. Interrail operates across multiple European jurisdictions, meaning data protection responsibilities were shared across different regulatory frameworks. Coordinating an incident response across borders proved slow and complex, giving attackers more time to exploit exposed data. As news of the breach spread, European data protection authorities began monitoring the situation closely. Under GDPR, companies handling sensitive personal data are required to disclose breaches quickly and limit exposure. But in multinational systems like Interrail, determining exactly what was accessed and when can take weeks. Cybersecurity experts pointed to several possible entry points: legacy booking systems, third-party integrations, cloud storage misconfigurations, or compromised credentials from a partner vendor. Whatever the method, the breach exposed a critical weakness in how travel platforms balance convenience with security. For travelers, the implications were immediate and unsettling. Many had trusted Interrail with information required for international movement, believing it would be handled with the same care as government systems. Instead, their identities may have been quietly copied, stored, and sold without their knowledge. Dark web monitoring groups soon reported listings advertising European travel data tied to rail systems. While not officially confirmed as Interrail data, the timing raised alarm. Travel records are valuable. They reveal movement patterns, citizenship, and timing, intelligence that can be misused by criminals and foreign actors alike. Unlike financial breaches, where banks can freeze accounts, victims of identity exposure face a long-term threat. Fraudulent visas, fake bookings, border questioning, increased scrutiny during international travel. The damage isn't always immediate, but it follows silently. Interrail issued advisories urging users to remain vigilant, monitor accounts, and be alert for suspicious communications. But for many, reassurance came too late. Trust had already been shaken. A system designed to make borders invisible had instead exposed travelers at a deeply personal level. This breach highlighted a growing problem in modern cybersecurity. Travel infrastructure has become a high-value target. As transportation systems digitize identity verification, attackers follow closely. Every passport uploaded becomes another asset worth stealing. Governments rely on private platforms to move people efficiently. But when those platforms fail, the consequences ripple across borders, agencies, and lives. The Interrail breach wasn't just a failure of security. It was a reminder that convenience often comes at the cost of exposure. As investigations continued through 2026, calls grew louder for stricter oversight of travel data handling, better encryption standards, and reduced data retention. Because once identity data escapes into the wild, it can never truly be recovered. The Interrail passport data breach serves as a warning, not just to travelers, but to every system that asks for trust in exchange for access. In a connected world, the journey doesn't end at the station. It continues through servers, databases, and networks most users never see. If you want to understand the cyber incidents shaping global trust, from government breaches to travel system failures, subscribe to Breach Narrative. Because the most dangerous leaks aren't always loud. Sometimes they happen quietly, while the world keeps moving.